Hello everyone, this is Nathan Bryan, and this is update number 52 of the Darugodoris. I've been working on Ponti the last few weeks, excluding Christmas as I was, visiting with family, but I am back on top of it. More updates to come in the near future. For Ponti, I have been working on the joint system and controls. So with the joint system, one needs to think about where the deformation is going to be. Now, where is the shoulder? Where is the elbow? For the lower arm, I actually added an extra joint here so that when it rotates, it actually won't lose a lot of that density of the arm. For the legs, I used a basic reverse foot setup. None of this is connected yet. All it is joints and the controls. Just setting up the basic infrastructure for the creature, or in this case Ponti. As far as the head goes, I've got a jaw joint placed somewhere up near the ear where I'm thinking the jaw will rotate from, so he will have actually a pretty wide mouth when he opens it. The ears are 3 joints to control the edge of the ears, controlled by a joint that will be controlling the whole ear, and I have controls that sort of match that. I have 3 joints at the eyes. I've got 1 for the eye itself, and then 2 for the eyelids. As you can see, I have an extra joint in the head here. This is going to be for a little bit of squash and stretch in the head. Mind you, it won't be very much, as I don't want to go overboard, as he does have a skull. This will be more to make it look like his skin is sort of warping a little bit when he's moving quickly. Now, as you can see, I also have this backpack here. The backpack is an interesting rig, and sort of the first time I've worked on something like this, so it's going to be a lot of trial and error. But for right now, I'm going with the basic style of these wing joints. There are 3 wing joints, but there are only 2 wings. The third wing joint is connected to the second. And the idea is that when the first one opens, it's just going to be these 2 bars here controlling it. But then a second one will drop down, and there will be the third wing. I haven't started controlling the wings themselves yet. The idea behind those is to have a lot of control on them, just so that it looks like dynamics. I don't necessarily want to use dynamics on them. I just want it to be really easy to animate. So that will be a little bit later. For the backpack itself, I have these set of these joints here that are going to control a wiggle of the backpack. Turn the joints off for a second. You can see my control system. I've got a control that will affect the entire wiggle of the backpack, and then I've got a couple of others that will control these 2 pockets here. Give it a little bit more of that realistic feel. I've got a couple of extra joints and controllers here that are going to be for wrapping around the body. If you were to do a different pose, it's actually going to wrap around the body with him. For the bands around the body, since it is in fact separate from the body, I didn't want to just rig it alongside the body, so I created its own joint system that has a line of joints that go over the shoulders, a line of joints that go across the chest, under the arm, and across the stomach. These will be basic IK, and I'll have these controls all over it. to affect how they work with the body. These controls can be separate, but they will also be parent constrained to the spine, so that when the spine moves, they'll move with it, giving it like he's actually wearing it. And at that point, I could just turn it off, because as you can see, there's a lot of controls in this tiny little area. So if you select the big backpack control, there's a control viz button. I can just turn that off, and there go all of those controls for the backpack. I can completely ignore it until I'm ready to start animating with it. For the head, I can actually grab this head control, which serves as a rotation for that center of the head joint, as you remember before. So that was going to control that. It also has a face viz control, so I can turn the controls off for the face. The hands will have IK and FK controls, so I can go back and forth between IK and FK. The feet also have it. I put it underneath the hip control. And then under the master control, I can just turn all the controls off. So when I'm done animating this character, I can just turn the controls off. If he's in close contact with Pill, his controls won't get in the way of Pill's controls, and I can concentrate on animating one character at a time instead of having to deal with a lot of controls in a small area. So that's what I worked on today. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great afternoon, and happy rigging!